For years, we have had board members and boards of education ask why meetings could not be held or members could not participate in meetings over the telephone. The new act finally addresses that issue. So let's talk about individual members participating in meetings by telephone first. Number one, the act says that any meeting where a quorum is present in person. So that means that everybody else can be there, or at least a quorum can be there in your regular meeting place for a regular meeting or a special meeting like we've been discussing. In those circumstances, a member may participate by teleconference due to health or absence from the jurisdiction. Now, that's all the Act says. That's all the definition that the Act provides. If there are health reasons or they're gone, not in the school district, out of town, if you will, then they may participate by teleconference. But the second provision, as you see, places limits on this. A member may participate by teleconference no more than twice in 1 year unless emergency conditions exist or the member has a written opinion of the physician or health professional that the member's health prevents their physical presence at the meeting. Now, frankly, those seem somewhat distinguishing criteria, but let's talk about how they normally would play out. It appears that the first provision suggests that at least twice a year, any member who says their health keeps them from coming or they're out of town can participate by telephone, and there's no other requirement. Now, I know some school districts that have asked that the member provide some kind of written statement to justify it, and I think under those circumstances that would be fine, but that's all that's required. If it's going to be more than twice in a year, then there has to be some kind of evidence of these emergency conditions. The emergency conditions apparently could apply to either health reasons, in which event there has to be a written opinion of the physician or health professional that the health prevents the member's physical presence at the meeting, or emergency conditions exist that have to do with the member being absent from the jurisdiction. One example of that might be circumstances under which a board member has employment that forces them to be out of town for some period of time. Perhaps they have a job where they're required to be gone for 3 months or something like that. And those emergency conditions keep them from being available. With some verification and certification of those facts, it would appear that the board member could participate by teleconference. So this is situations where the board is meeting as it normally does. The individual member wishes to participate by telephone. What about circumstances where the entire board wants to have a meeting by telephone?